I'm Russel Zack. I'm the general manager of Kaltura EMEA. As was introduced, we're a unique company because we are a video software and platform company. We enable our customers globally to produce, manage, and then distribute their content to their end users. And we have a very unique perspective on the market because we focus on three major markets. All markets value video differently. Higher education, where we do work for London School of Economics, for example, and that's all about enriching student learning. Large enterprises in manufacturing and in professional services and in pharma, and how those brands look to deliver their video messages to customers. And then, of course, the media industry, which is all about the monetization of video content. And one of the things that we still find today is needing to make the case for video. So I'm going to ask, my first interactive is, I'd like everyone to read this. And then when you look at it from the concept of video, you realize that this statistic is correct, which is that your brain processes this information tens of thousands of times faster than it does when you're reading the printed word or even when you're processing an image. Oh, by the way, guys in the back, can I get audio on some of this? Okay, great. And then next interactive question, and some of this stuff you may say to yourself, I know this already. Can someone raise their hand and tell me how many hours of video are uploaded to YouTube per minute? Anyone? Anyone have a guess? This is per minute, how many hours?
90,000.
90,000 hours per minute is a lot, but that would be quite impressive. Anyone else?
100.
100. That is right. That is correct. Right now, today, 100 hours of video, actually, since I showed that clip of that green Martian dancing, and now 100 hours of video have been uploaded to YouTube. And YouTube isn't necessarily a way in which all your audiences consume content, but it's a good metric. It's kind of like when I say, right now in the air, there are 20,000 planes, just to give you an idea of scale and scope. As we see it, when you're looking at yourself as a brand or as an enterprise or as a large brand, we use this formula when we talk to all organizations. And it's something that you should consider as well, which is EC equals MC, which is that every company is actually a media company today. And that's the way in which you need to approach your stance as a brand or as an advisor to brands in getting content out to your consumers. And actually, the number one creator of video content and distributing it out on behalf of brands today is actually your employees. Is that employees have become the most vocal, the best producers, and have a tremendous voice about promoting and producing content for a brand. And part of the reason is a very simple statement. Top 1993, what it took to make a video, and then today, what it takes to make the exact same high-quality video. So you can see that today, you have all of this content, all of these content creation tools in your hands. Now, a lot of that also means that you need a good management platform, distribution platform, and tracking platform, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And when organizations take a look at video and they say, okay, what do I need to consider when I'm creating video? Obviously, the ability to produce video is key. The need to consider the social platforms or social applications where this video is consumed, both internally as well as externally. And then, of course, mobile, which is the big area in which video is now getting consumed on a regular basis. And also, when video is created, our customers also need to be reminded that video is more than just moving images. When you look at all of the different data pieces and data elements that pop up when you look at a video player, this is all behind it. You get all the description tags, the ability to search on it. You can put in interactive calls to action. These are all key elements in when you create your video messaging, or you create your short videos or your long form videos, in areas to consider as part of the strategy on both execution and tracking. And the next part, which again makes it a little more complicated, is that consuming video is different by platform. So here's an example for retail, which is that when a retail organization looks to distribute content across multiple devices, they have to change that content. And the reason why is because in-store displays often don't have audio. So that means that the visual needs to be what is promoting and delivering that message. Whereas on the mobile device is different than on the laptop is also different. And then what also creates items to think about is that you have to match the video content to the platform in terms of its narrative. So in a broad type TV spot, for example, in store, maybe something that you're reusing from television and you're putting it on the in-store display. But then online, when you're starting to create the message and create the communication with the end consumer on a one-to-one basis on a laptop, then we're seeing that actually it's about educational spots. It's about information, messaging, promotion. This is where the employee messaging comes in. This is where we're seeing many of the global brands now create the voice of the consumer coming through their employees. And then, of course, when you look at tablets or mobile devices, that's where you get really personal, where you get the interactivity, the ability to follow a flow between yourself and the consumer on that end. So I made mention of both making sure that the video content matches the platform, and also that the video content and the creation and the narrative matches the platform. And one company that I think matches this is an organization called Newsbeat. On the right-hand side is Newsbeat's website. It has one single button that says watch on Facebook. Their target market is the millennial market, who have basically become disenchanted, much like what was mentioned before with BuzzFeed, disenchanted with mainstream news. So Newsbeat Social has actually created anywhere from 1 to 100 video clips per day. Everything's 1 minute long and is only viewable via Facebook. So you can see the way in which they pay very close attention to what their target market is and the type of content that they're looking to reach that market with. And when you're looking at yourself as a brand, or again, as I mentioned before, a consultant to brands, you have to consider what the ethos of the company is. You see many brands today actually make mistakes in their video messaging that doesn't match who they are as a company. And there's some brands who are doing it amazingly well. Quick vote. Who has more videos on their YouTube channel? Honda or Philips? Anyone?
Which one do you want?
Philips. Can anyone guess at what magnitude?
10 times.
10 times. That's good. Philips has just over 5,000 videos on their YouTube channel. Honda has just under 500. And part of that reason is the genius at which Philips is video marketing themselves. And what they're doing is they're putting the voice of the product into their employees. And they're creating videos, partly because their products are so well experienced via visuals, via video, It's taking them to the next level in terms of them taking advantage of using video in order to market their products, not only using ad spots, but actually using their employees themselves and their products to be vocal about their message. But the key thing that Philips is doing with their video initiative is actually allowing the employees to become the actors within the videos. And they're actually doing real things. And why the message is so strong is that at the 1 minute and 7 mark, which was part of my big reveal, is that you feel this emotional message, and it's exactly what was stated before, is the reason why the video that Paul is talking about has gone so viral is that the project that the employee did is show how Philips lighting has affected a very dangerous area in Spain, in a city in Spain. And what is so amazing about it is that it pulls and tugs on your heartstrings, but you have to remember, and not to take anything away from their products, but they're selling light bulbs. And you can see with that at what video can do in terms of garnering the message and really promoting a message globally. So I'll send the video around. Now, the key thing about these initiatives is we get a lot of conversations around virality. I actually had never heard that today, but videos going viral. But when it's a company-wide initiative, it's not only about making something go viral, but it's about investing in the tools and in the management systems and the internal promotion to get employees to create videos on behalf of the organization. So this is actually Intel's statistics on their internal video initiatives. And what they did is they created internal marketing campaigns for their employees. They put tools in the hands of their employees to create short-form videos to promote the brand both internally, tell employees what they're working on using video, but also externally. And you can see that it's not about just the number of minutes viewed at 175,000, but you look at the number of videos at 2,000 videos as well. So you're not only seeing a lot of videos being viewed in their initiatives, but also a lot of videos being created. And these are videos being created by the employees themselves for distribution as part of these, part of this strategy. I'm going to skip this slide, but if you'd like to get information about items to consider when you're looking at this type of initiative or even consulting for one of your customers about features and functions, let me know. And then also the cool guy, I'm sure he hears that before, has heard that before, presented a lot about video metrics, but as well, these are the 3 fundamentals for items to consider as you're going through tracking the effectiveness of your video marketing, both internally and externally. First key element is volume. Are you getting videos watched? Is there a single video that's getting watched very often? The second is engagement. How long is the video being watched? Are people stopping at a certain point in terms of how they're getting engaged? And where is it being shared? Is the video actually being shared and then consumed? And then finally, the distribution metrics. Because there's 2 ways in which to distribute video. There's distribution, where you're giving it to somebody like YouTube, and then YouTube has to give you the metrics, and then syndication, where you're embedding the video into other different sites and you can track it all the way through. It's all items to consider. I know I've covered a lot of material from the standpoint of the last 15 minutes, but just to summarize in the points that I've spoken about today, video is more powerful than any other medium. Hard to debate that fact. That you have the tools today to allow anybody to create a video on behalf of a brand as well as on behalf of the consumer. Everybody's a media company, but you do need to match the content to the platform, meaning 2-hour video doesn't really play well on a mobile device. Be who you are. As I mentioned, Philips. Video market using the company's ethos. What do you stand for? What's the message you want to promote? What do your employees think the company should be recording and sending out to the market? And then, of course, make sure that you enable this with having tools in place to manage these videos, get them into the right formats, play it out, track it, and then repeat it. Because video is a long-term investment. The customers that we have don't see success normally from day one. They try and try. They fail quickly, as has been said many times this morning. And feel free to ask me some questions.